Hello, I'm Cari Moore.
And I'm Kelly Patton, and welcome to Daybreak.
Fraser Valley Weekend. This week, we're so pleased to welcome Louis Jaeger, Minister of Economic Development and Partnerships and Associate Minister of Health for the Métis Nation BC.
We also have Hank de Meulder, CEO of Erica Printing and Publishing, coming in from Hope, and an interview with Hal Sloanwhite of Chilliwack Pride.
And I'm sure we'll be talking about the Pride Festival, which happens this Sunday in downtown Chilliwack.
And Natalie Bedard is back with another edition of Total Wellness, sponsored by Rivercrest Contracting.
We'll also go over all the week's news affecting the Fraser Valley and beyond and highlight the most fun and exciting things for you to try this weekend. All this coming up next. Welcome back. So, your week last week.
Yeah,
not so good.
We weren't with you last week, and my apologies, but the summer sickness was real.
Not good. I'm glad you got better.
I did. And just a reminder to people, we learned our lesson during the pandemic, I think. If you're sick, stay home. And if in doubt, you need any advice, like how high is too high of a fever for an adult?
Exactly.
There is 811, the health line or online that you can go and just poke around a little bit and get some information from a nurse. Thanks to the nurses.
And you're back and healthy,
I'm
so
back,
that's good.
feeling fantastic. How about you? What did you get up to last week?
It was my birthday,
your birthday.
So we
Happy
went into
birthday.
Vancouver and saw a show, the whole family, and yeah, it was really fun and nice and lovely weather, so it was great.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yes, I'm
Happy
glad you're
belated birthday.
Thank you.
I'm glad I'm here.
Me too.
But let's dive into BC.
Yes, the news.
Yeah. So this is interesting and maybe not too surprising. A report by Amy Judd of Global News. BC residents are spending less money in the U.S. by
Shocking.
an astonishing amount. The new report from Vancity shows that their analysis, people are spending way less. There's a significant drop in what gets spent compared to the same time last year.
And that's just through tracking visas. Not everybody has a visa.
Yeah. So we know that the lineups to go to the States are shorter. Spending in Washington State is down by nearly 50%, and even online is down by another 14%. So the same study showed Mexican wire transfers quadrupled.
Yes, so we're skipping right over them.
Yeah, so that kind of indicates the potential for a longer-term trend, too. So, I know right now we're maybe speaking with our wallets because of the tariffs and what's in the news and topical, but
once we get used to Mexico, there's no need to go back.
Yeah, once we get used to not having to shop in that economy. I don't know. I'd be careful. Doesn't look like we're going back anytime soon.
No.
I know I'm not traveling. My plans have canceled for the U.S. for the next year.
I'm not even taking my passport, so I won't be tempted.
Oh. Yeah. You still need a passport for Mexico.
I know, but I'm going back east. To
Okay,
Canada,
gotcha.
So in Abbotsford, according to CTV News, Lisa Stacey in Abbotsford, around 7 p.m. on Sunday, there was a man who rolled his car, this is interesting, at an intersection of North Parallel Road and Number 3 Road. Yeah. And instead of sticking around, he fled the scene on foot and then attempted to backstroke across the canal.
I've seen strong swimmers, but not so strong that they'd be able to get away from the police on the canal.
Right. The really funny thing is, once they got him from the other side, there was a lot of warrants out for his arrest.
Maybe a brisk breaststroke. Move the sense
Get
of
there
urgency.
before they do, right?
Yeah, okay, all joking aside, I'm glad everybody's okay and that it was
And then they
taken care
got him
of.
because of those warrants. So,
And just a reminder, if you're in an accident,
stick around.
Stick around. He had warrants. I see what the
and he was
reason
charged with drunk driving, so yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay. From Brandon Tucker of the Abbey News, a bear was spotted on the south side of the UFE campus in Abbotsford on the weekend and caused the university to put out a warning to students to be vigilant. Now, the bear has been located and captured, but you really have to have your wits about you when you're moving. And even up at the lake, you need to be aware that wilderness is around. Yeah. And, of course, never approach a bear and certainly report it.
Yeah, and don't feed the bears. Don't
feed any wildlife.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are completely surrounded. So being bear aware is very important, and the same goes for cougars.
Yeah.
All right. So in Chilliwack, from Jessica Peters of The Progress.
We really should invite her to be a guest on the show.
We really should. Yeah. ICBC crash data shows the worst intersections around Chilliwack for 2024. And so the top 4 have at least twice as many accidents as
the number 4 one.
The top 3, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, math, not my strong suit. But coming in at number 3 is the Evans Roundabout. And I don't think anybody's surprised with that.
With 69 accidents.
Okay, so it's not that difficult, but a lot of hesitant drivers in there because at least when I pull in there, I'm worried. Do the other drivers know the rules? So I'm more hesitant, which that's what creates accidents. So some people don't know that, north, south, and east, these are double lanes. Not everybody knows what the lines mean, but...
Yeah, and the lines mean different things depending on where you're entering.
Yeah. Pay attention to the signs.
Yeah.
Number 2,
we have Promontory Road at Vedder and Watson.
I'm not surprised at all.
I know, with 75 crashes last year, like even that one death. So
yeah, it's a really busy intersection, and I'd have hoped with the completion, like they widened it, they put in that lane, there's extra distance for turning, but the scary thing is that it's high traffic for kids walking to one of the
3 schools in the area. Yeah.
So please drive safely at that intersection. Yeah.
And at number 1, as usual, Luckakuk and Vedder with 89 crashes logged. This intersection is just too busy.
Yeah.
Even with you go, then they go. It's just crazy. So be careful when you're going out to the mall, Chilliwack Mall, Superstore, Hofstede's, gas stations, all of those things everywhere. There's a lot going on. Well,
and in front of Superstore on Luckakuk, they just put in lights.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that that's helpful because I know I had many a frustrating day there. So those are the top 3 intersections to avoid, I guess, or be really careful, just extra diligent. Yeah. But lots of accidents.
Yes. Very sad. More road stuff. Paving will begin on Ryder Lake and Elk View Road this week. I was actually up there last night, and it needs it.
It absolutely does. According to the City of Chilliwack website, there'll be a full road closure scheduled for the 14th until the 18th, and there'll be a detour via Ekstrom Road.
But people live up there. Road. That was my concept. If you live between those...
I don't know.
Guess plan accordingly.
All I know is I used to get lots of emails about that road and how much it needed to be repaved, so it's going to happen. Not entirely convenient, but once it's done, it's done. So nothing says summer quite like construction. Yeah.
In Hope, the CBC brings us the story about a man stranded on the side of a cliff with a wildfire that broke out near Hope. He was rescued by helicopter and then straight to jail. Do not pass go. Did not collect $200.
Not for hanging off the side of the cliff. That's not why he was put in jail. Apparently, he had a number of warrants out for his arrest. So I guess in the big scheme of things, crime doesn't pay. I'm really glad he's okay. I'm glad that the first responders are okay who had to pluck him off the mountainside. Though it is good that this 27-year-old wasn't hurt and that he escaped what was a potentially deadly situation. The fire is under control, though.
Yeah. Right? They got helicopters in because it was straight up and down. The firefighters couldn't even get it.
Yeah, and everything's all good in the valley.
Yes.
Okay.
Except for Langley.
All right, swimming and mountain climbing. These are not
don't do summer stuff,
viable escape mechanisms. No. Okay. Langley.
Charlie Cari of City News from Tuesday Mounties received reports of shots fired around 5:30 p.m. on Monday at Willoughby Way and 200th Street near Meadows Edge Park. Apparently, a 40-year-old man was injured and hospitalized, but is going to be okay.
Okay.
Police are still investigating.
Yeah. Shooting in that's a weird place too. Okay, well, I hope everybody recovers.
Gets that figured out. Yeah.
In Mission, Taya Fast from Global News is reporting that the derelict former BC ferry that we talked about previously, that was unceremoniously kind of dumped in Mission, is finally set to be removed. Though that process could still be several months.
Years.
Let's say months. Yeah. Let's be hopeful.
Yeah. Because it's a lot of different government layers that they have to go through and
there is an owner, and that owner is trying to sell it to a salvage operation in order to have it moved. This would be quite an expense, but there's going to need to be cleanup, and that can be expensive, so the municipality
isn't going to
foot the bill on this. So there are several individuals involved, including the Coast Guard and Department of Fisheries and Transport Canada, Federal Ministry of Environment, and provincial agencies. It's ugly and messy, but stuff is happening.
Yeah, and it's not hurting anything right now. There's no leakage. So
not right now. Let's get it before it does. Yeah.
Okay, that's it for the news. So looking forward to our next guest, Louis de Jaeger of Métis Nation BC. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We are so pleased to be able to welcome Louis de Jaeger, Minister of Economic Development, Associate Minister of Health for Métis Nation BC, to Daybreak. Welcome to the show, Louis.
Great. It's great to be here with you both. I've seen your show, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm just happy to be here sharing a little bit about Métis Nation BC and some of the exciting things that we're doing over at Métis House.
Awesome. Before we get started, though, how about a little bit about you? What brought you to Chilliwack?
Yeah, well, it was basically fishing. So I used to have this old VW van, and myself and my partner, we used to come here all the time and, set up at the Vedder River and, and it was fish at that time. And then one day coming down Peach Road, saw a sign that they were selling lots. And so we purchased the we were the seventh house in that whole area before Webster, before anything was there, and just fell in love with the community. And we were still working at Delilah's. We were both at a restaurant in Vancouver. And then later on decided to open Bravo Restaurant here in Chilliwack. So, and
very enjoyable,
that had a really good run for us. And it's still going. My
Mm-hmm.
chef bought it from us. They're still doing really well. But for me, I didn't want to run around like a 20-year-old for another 35 years. So, I moved on and into other things. So, yeah.
Well, and move on you did, because you wear so many hats. So I know I
Said a couple of
skimmed
them,
over
yeah.
a couple with Métis Nation BC. But what are you doing now? Can you explain the portfolios you hold? Because you do really important work.
Yeah, so I was elected in 2020 and served as Minister of Health for 4 years and Minister of Economic Development, moved a lot of mountains, continued on building bridges with a lot of our Stolo leadership out here, and forming those partnerships I think that we really need in not just the Indigenous world, but, out here in Chilliwack and with the mayor, the municipality, and just continuing to put Chilliwack on the map. So that was basically it. And then we had a by-election. I didn't get elected last September, but a by-election came up. We actually are integrating 2S plus policy into everything we do in governance. So we made a board chair seat, and I ran for that. And here I am back in my portfolios again, and but doing some other fun work too. Helping young kids out, not just in business, but with identity and just forming some great partnerships with some of the 2S groups out here too.
Amazing.
Yeah, I know we were able to work on a few health things together during my time as well, and the work is ongoing. It's never ending. And so what are a couple of the things that you're working on right now? Yeah,
well, in healthcare, it's basically we were able to actually form an accord with 32 nations in the Lower Fraser Valley with Fraser Health and Métis Nation BC. First time ever in Canada that was ever done.
A big one.
So Stolo's policy is always about taking care of all Indigenous people that are on Stolo lands, and we love that policy, and we're helping do some of that work because that's where those statistics really are. They're over proportion, on the street, in the justice system, with our children and families as well. So there's plenty of work to do. So I'm just glad to be, another set of hands, doing what I can do to just make the world a better place for some of our less fortunate people.
And they're fortunate to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and here in Chilliwack, we have Métis House, which many people drive past. Not everybody knows about. So what kinds of things are happening at Métis House right now?
Yeah, so it's the last one of the little old buildings when it used to be an army base there. And
with a great garden.
Yeah, and we've got a medicine wheel garden. We actually do... we grow things out of there. We grow herbs out of there. We do teachings out of there. We do the long braided sweetgrass. And so we tried it because sweetgrass is not supposed to grow real well out in this area. But we put a little patch in, and now it's taken over almost the whole section. But we're letting it go because the strands are actually like about this tall. So we do classes now on making some of those braids and just kind of the teachings from the prairies, and that's an important herb for us, and just it's part of our medicines, right?
And can anybody go?
Yeah,
to those
absolutely.
classes?
We're open, and all our programs are open. You can just sign up online. You can follow on our Facebook page, Chilliwack Métis Association. We do lots of canning and stuff, and I just bought a little cookbook. This is our new edition.
Super fun.
Yeah, there's squirrel fricassee in there too. So I'm not too sure how popular
Where would one
that is
buy
in-
squirrel? Because I'm not going after squirrel.
I have to say, I like this new
Version 2?
Yes.
I love the new trend where guests bring us things.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Take note, people.
Thank you so
But
much.
if you're from the prairies, you can go on our website on our trading post and just take a look inside there. And it's I always say when your ancestors die or your close relatives die, everyone always runs for the pictures, right? And like from a cooking family, we always run like for the closets in the kitchen.
Find those recipes.
Because those recipes, those are the smells, those are the memories of all of you together. It's just all those good times, and exactly. We've got
Christmas relish. I know what this smells like. As soon
Oh,
as I
you're
saw the
kidding.
picture,
Yeah.
I could smell it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some great stories about family histories in there as well. So we like to do those things, and that is you, right? That's your essence. Is where you come from. It's always good to really cherish that, and food is so much part of that, right? We love that.
Well, thank you so much for this. So, lots going on. You can follow Métis House on social media. So if people are looking to get involved with Métis Nation BC, how do they hook up and hook in?
Yeah, they can go on our Facebook page and just message there. We have somebody usually in the office on Saturdays from 9 till 1 p.m. and they'll help with your genealogy and help you get your citizenship papers in. Trace, help you trace back to your ancestry. All the families are connected in the Métis Nation, which is just the northern part of BC, because we're not title holders this side of the mountains. Kelly Lake is one of our historic communities up north, but it's just right across the prairies. And so those families and the stories that they tell in their journeys are all integrated with First Nations families as well. So it's quite an interesting history when you start realizing, it's not just First Nations. Like even in Chilliwack here, we're 1,100 in just the Chilliwack community, but we've got Fraser Valley Métis Association, Golden Ears, we've got Surrey Delta Métis Association. So there's around 8,500 just in the Lower Mainland.
And it seems to be growing every year.
And it is, because people are always trying to find, their past, right? And Métis history was different because nobody wanted to be half of anything. So, and they called us half-breeds. That was the legal term. But, we've taken that back. So, I'm not ashamed of it at all. It's in my script, it's half-breed Cree, right? Or Scottish Cree half-breed, depending on how they wrote that down. But that's your history, and you should be proud of that. Exactly. Those stories are amazing. So I always like, helping people with that too, and watching them discover their roots, Did you ever see that program that used to be
Finding
on?
Your Roots?
Yeah, Finding Your Roots. And oh my goodness, like some of the stories and there's reasons why people change their names, right?
Yeah.
There's reasons why people move. First Nations were very lucky because they were land bound. So, they had that history embedded with the land. We didn't have that all the time. We were always chasing our next meal or moving to other communities, or because of whatever it was with residential schools, we're being adopted to other families. So it is not just a sad history, but, it's a pretty rich history and one to definitely be proud of. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we're really lucky to have Métis House and Métis Nation. It's such a big community here in Chilliwack and in the Fraser Valley. Like really big extended family.
Yeah,
So
like we know what it's like to be a nonprofit, right? And and to struggle, and so we help other nonprofits. We give them an address. They rent part-time, depending on the nights of the week. We have Gender Support Network. We support Pride, numerous other groups that are out there. Just because everyone needs a place, right? Everyone's looking for a home. And we were very blessed that Stallo, offered us this home, and we fixed it up. We got a beautiful stage in the back and have live concerts. We serve buffalo barbecue to people over 100 people, and we really are connected with. We encourage everyone to come out. If you see us out there and you're driving by Vedder Road, come on in. Who doesn't like the fiddle music
and the burgers are awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking forward to it for sure.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. I cannot wait to hear what's next for you and all the things that you're working on, and hopefully I'll get to join you in a few of them.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you sharing. We will be back right after this.
We Sunday driving and the sun's bright shining. We load up the doggies, gas up our rifle. We're gonna hit that 4-lane and then we are flying. We come alive when
And now we're so glad to have Hank de Meulder of Erica Printing and Publishing visiting us all the way from Hope. Hank, welcome to the show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? So, how long have you been here? What brought you here?
In Canada, about 42, 43 years. First came to Chilliwack the first year and a half, 2 years. And then moved to Hope. I've been there 40 years in Hope.
You've seen lots of development going on up there.
Well, I've seen lots of changes in Chilliwack. When I visit here now, then like all around Five Corners, that's quite a difference from 40 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, 1881, and then even in Sardis with the base and all the changes
Oh yeah,
there.
there too, yeah.
Yeah. And have you always been in the printing world?
Since I came to Canada.
Oh, okay. So it was something you started here.
Printing had been a hobby, sort of sideline, but originally, first 20 some years, I spent traveling all over the world as chemical engineer building factories in
that's
Africa,
a very different thing.
Eastern Europe, etc.
Cool.
Okay, well that sounds like an exciting job, and maybe your next interview will be all about that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So you're Erica Printing.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, the name comes from my son and daughter, Eric and Carol, making Erica. And of course, that happens to be the heather, the white or purple heather flower. So that's part of our logo, and that's how it came about.
And what sort of things do you specialize in as a printing?
Oh, it's different now than it was 40 years ago. But for instance, like NCR paper, the non-carbon paper, it's being phased out as more and more people, or fewer and fewer businesses use that for invoices, etc.
Yeah.
So it's more now in science or in specialty things. One of the things we got involved in some years ago was Christmas cards for the Rotary Club in Chilliwack. And
Wow. Yeah, and that Christmas card program just recently switched over to Chilliwack Community Services.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
So if you don't know, you're in for a treat. So you print Christmas cards that are designed locally by kids.
By the kids,
And people
school
can
kids
order
here.
them and adjust them to their own needs for their business or their office or their family. And then the proceeds from that go to...
All go back
it used to
into-
go to the Rotary, but now it's Chilliwack Community Services.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've been doing that for how many years?
Oh, it must be 5 or 6 years now.
Amazing.
7 years, I don't know.
That's great. Well, and there's always lots of choice, and you get to pick it. So make sure you figure out how to get your order in.
Yeah.
We'll be sure to share that. But that's one of the ways that you support community. But you also are connected with Chill TV, right? There's a sign in our background right now for the Chilies.
Yeah, we've done some different things.
So how did that work start?
How did that work? I don't know. I guess I've known Vedder for a number of years now, and through Rotary.
Okay.
That's how it started. I was a member of the Hope Rotary Club for many, many years. So, it goes back many years.
Awesome.
That's great.
So, and we are glad to be involved.
So now you do specialty items.
We do specialty items, and one thing we started more as a hobby is we make actually clocks.
And you brought something with you.
And,
Can we
and
show?
I brought one which I'm going to leave here for you. And
Amazing.
that's a Canada Strong clock.
Wow, let's turn it
it's
this
a
way
metal.
so everybody can see it.
It's a metal.
Cool.
And of course it lasts forever.
Thank you so much.
Well, the battery will run out. And,
Yeah,
and if you
we could
drop
change
it,
that. Yeah.
And if you drop it, the hands will break.
Oh,
So
well.
you can hang it, or we have a little stand for it.
Okay. Well, we will most likely put it on our bookshelf for sure.
That's fantastic.
That is amazing.
So you make the clock as well as do the printing on the front?
Or do you order the
That's
clock?
what we do.
Yeah.
No, the clock work, that little
that's-
thing.
Yeah.
That's different.
Probably Taiwan or
I can't see them doing
the
that.
clock
no.
works. I mean, no.
Yeah.
Sometimes I make the hands.
Okay.
Well, I
Depending
have
on what you want them
selection
to
of
look
hands,
like, yeah.
But yeah, depending the effect you want to have. And then whatever, we actually custom make clocks. We do that. We have people send us or give us a photo, a family photo or whatever photo they like, and we'll make it into a clock.
So don't send angry emails to me, but we've got Christmas covered, evidently, because we have Christmas cards. You can have custom Christmas clocks.
Yes.
And he's got a lot of time to do it if you order now.
If you order it now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, we would appreciate that, yes.
Hank, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for the clock. Again, loving the theme of gifts to decorate our set. But thank you for your work with the Chili's,
you're
as
welcome.
well as supporting community with the community service Christmas cards. How can people get a hold of you?
For whatever printing, etc., it's find us on Facebook, Erica Press.
Fantastic.
Out of hope.
That's
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here this morning. We learned a lot, and I really look forward to seeing this on set behind us.
well. There you go.
We'll be right back. Hello, today I get the honor of interviewing Hal Sloanwhite from the Chilliwack Pride Society. Welcome here.
Thank you.
A little bit about yourself. Are you new to Chilliwack?
Yeah, so I'm Hal Sloanwhite. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I moved to Chilliwack a year ago, and I joined the Chilliwack Pride Society in November. So I'm a new member of the board. Lots of us are new, so we have been preparing for this festival for a number of months now, and it's all starting to come together. So we are really looking forward to having everybody out to the festival this Sunday.
And what's your position on the board?
Yeah, so I am the Director of Youth Programming and Accessibility. So I've been doing lots of outreach at different schools and different youth pride events, and working on, creating a youth program for the fall. And I've also been ensuring that we have greater accessibility at the festival. So things like ASL interpreters, things like ensuring that there are accessible pathways all around, as well as ensuring our maps are usable for more people, and having things like quiet sensory spaces, having earplugs, masking. We will have one area of the festival that is mask required. So just really trying to reach all the folks that
Might
we really
think
want.
they can't come, but
Yeah.
they can. Awesome. And when we say the festival, it's happening when?
Sunday, July 13th. So this coming Sunday, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Is there entertainment all day long, or?
Yes. Yeah, there is entertainment all day long. There will be Queer as Funk is playing as our sort of big band that's going to be there. And there's going to be multiple local musicians. There's 2 different stages. So there's our main stage in Central Park, and then there's another stage on Victoria with some local musicians. We will also have a theater group coming and doing some musical theater numbers. We have a choir, and we have a ton of drag performers.
Neat. And I've been before. There's been vendors. Is there vendors this year?
Yeah, so there's going to be about 100 vendors. So many local artists who are so talented. I've been seeing all their posts come out, and it is very exciting. So there will be many vendors. There will be lots of food trucks with incredible food. So there will be so much to do. There's a kids zone. So
That's amazing.
it's for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be a good time. So again, what day and time is it?
July 13th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. this coming Sunday.
I'm going to be there. Hope everybody else can too.
Hi again, it's Natalie Bedard, your friendly neighborhood fitness, nutrition, and mindset coach. And today we're going to talk about mindset and specifically self-sabotage. So have you ever found yourself starting a new fitness, nutrition program, or healthy habit, and you start off strong and then suddenly it's one skipped workout, one meal you planned and prepped to eat at home, and then you went and had, and it ends up being 1 day, 3 days, 4 days, a month. And now you feel like, what did I do? I feel like I always self-sabotage. Well, what if I can help you reframe that? What if it's not really sabotage, but actually your brain just trying to keep you safe? So the way our brains work is they are negatively biased, meaning that we scan and look for things to go wrong instead of what could go right. And that's by design. It is designed to keep us feeling safe. And we start something new, like a new habit that might be really good for us. We want to work out. We want to get healthier. We want to change our lifestyle. It can feel unsafe, and therefore we shrink away from it. We learn to not do it. So it's not that you are lazy, that you always self-sabotage, but perhaps just not aware of what your brain is trying to do to help you. So what can you do? Well, number one, build some self-awareness. Start noticing your patterns without judgment. Ask yourself, what do I do when I'm doing things well? Journaling or even a quick voice note can help you see it in real time. Number two, reframe the thought. So when you hear yourself saying, I always mess this up, I always sabotage myself, take a moment, pause and reframe it. Try saying, hey, this is a pattern I'm learning to. Remember that thoughts aren't facts, they're habits, and they can be rewritten. Number three, pursue progress, not perfection. One skipped workout doesn't mean you failed. One off-plan meal doesn't undo all of your progress. Sustainable change happens when you show up imperfectly, but consistently. So if you can build a little awareness and recognize that the truth of self-sabotage is really just your brain trying to protect you, you can build more self-compassion, give yourself some grace, get over those hiccups when you aren't perfect, because none of us are perfect. And that will help you build more resiliency and pursue progress over perfection and keep going. I hope this helps. Next time, we'll talk more about mindset, and I'll show you how to build out systems that will help keep you structured with your new habits.
Another fabulous Natalie Vedder total wellness moment. I hope you're all absorbing all of these great tips. And if you've missed a segment, Chill TV has a series devoted to total wellness, sponsored by Rivercrest Contracting, where you can catch up on earlier episodes.
Yep, and you can watch them back to back to back and get really fit.
All at once.
Yep. And we had a great interview with Hal Sloanwhite. Don't forget about the Chilliwack Pride Festival coming up this Sunday.
I will be there.
Me too. 25,000 people are supposed to be there too.
25,000 people. Okay.
Well, that's a lot.
Thanks again to Louis Jaeger of Métis Nation BC and Hank de Meulder of Erica Printing and Publishing for joining us this week as our guests.
Okay, switch gears. What do you think you'll get up to this weekend? You
Definitely
missed last weekend, so now you get time.
I did.
Yeah.
I slept through it. Fever dreams. Definitely going to Pride.
Yes.
And I think Saturday there's a lot of stuff I have to catch up on at home, spend some time with the kiddos. Yep. But how about you?
Yeah. Well, the rain was a nice break this week, so I'll probably have some gardening to do, tidy things up.
I'm finding my garden's doing better if I just leave it alone.
Okay, perfect.
So it's just growing things. They fall off in my hands, and then I leave it alone and it grows more things. So
There you go, perfect. Yeah. So in Abbotsford, I think our picks should be...
Berry Fest.
Yes.
Okay, Saturday, there's going to be music, including a Tragically Hip tribute band, jam, dancing, family games, so much eating.
Even a pie eating contest.
All right, this is a street festival right downtown Abbotsford, and it starts at noon. Yeah.
Perfect. Also a shout out to Castle Fun Park, who is holding their Industry Night Tuesday, July 15th from 5 to 9 p.m. It's in appreciation for the staff of Abbotsford's hospitality and tourism industry, and is only $20 if you buy in advance.
Okay.
Just look for them on social media or their website.
Okay, looks like there'll be a lot to do. Tons of games. If you've ever been there, you know how fun it is. And there'll be pizza and drink specials and even an after party at Abbey Road. So thanks to our viewer Sue for sharing that one.
Excellent.
Yeah, and for Chilliwack. So we've already told you about Sunday and the Pride Festival downtown. So tomorrow, why not visit the downtown Chilliwack Community Market?
Yes, get used to the town, figure out where to park.
Lay of the
all
land.
that stuff, yeah.
Happens every Saturday from now until October 4th.
Yeah.
10 till 2, Central Community Park.
Just right through Five Corners.
Yeah, really vibrant market. It's all about local love and featuring fresh produce and handcrafted goods, big treats, and sustainable small batch creations. So rotating vendors, live music, relaxed, walkable. I mean, it really ticks all the boxes. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely. You have to go every week to get the full experience.
Yeah.
In Harrison, it's the biggie.
It's a big one.
Yes.
Yeah. Harrison Festival of the Arts starts today and is
10 days long. So that continues till July 20th.
So there's an artisan market, workshops, all sorts of concerts, music, including Five Alarm Funk and Bentel Taylor, Ulrich, the Chilliwack Rock Choir, which is exciting to watch.
Yep.
Improv comedy for those who love it, yoga on the beach, and I bet all sorts of delicious food choices.
Yeah. So lots of ticket options for tickets depending on how much you'd like to take in. You can go to theharrisonfestival.com/storefront for a complete list of events and ticket options.
Okay, don't miss it. There's going to be something you're going to want to see there.
Yeah, exactly.
In Langley, Philip Jackman Park on 32nd Avenue in Aldergrove tonight. Why not drag the family out for a foam party? Yeah, it starts at 6 p.m. It's free, and it includes a 20-foot water slide, inflatables, and, of course, an ice cream truck. It's a nice way to beat the heat.
Exactly.
Because they're using foam, I wonder if that counts as bath time for the kids.
I would hope so. Because you could then just shower them when you
Just
get home.
rinse them off and put them to bed. All right,
okay,
maybe not. Okay.
Mission, if you haven't already been, the farmers market at Centennial Park continues Saturday and every Saturday from 10 till 2 until October 25th. It goes a little longer. So, what are you growing in October? Are you gonna,
Pumpkins?
Are you going to grow pumpkins?
I'm trying to grow them now.
You pretty much have to get them in before now, though. Pumpkins.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's growing yet.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a weed or a pumpkin, so I'm not.
They have big poofy leaves.
So do my weeds. Okay. All right. So with the weather finally cooperating and a forecast for a warm sunny weekend, break out the sunscreen, get out with the family, lots of good food and things to enjoy this Fraser Valley weekend.
And thanks for watching Daybreak.